Ladies and gentlemen, just always remember to be careful what you say on the internet, because whatever you say can always come back and fire right back at you, just like that. And we've obviously learned that from today's race. And why don't we review today's races from the Duels at Daytona? Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile for Day back again. Welcome back to another episode of NRR. And today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2022 Duels at Daytona, where we had two winners. It was a clean sweep by RFK Racing, the new Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing, with Brad Keselowski winning the first duel and Chris Buescher winning the second duel, and a chaotic way to end that race. So first off, we're going to do a rapid fire look at the top 10 finishers from each duel race. After that, we're going to rate the duel, and then we'll talk about the biggest thing from each duel race, and then we'll end the video. So let's go ahead and dive on into this video. Finishing first was Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski, for his first super speedway race for RFK Racing, able to get the job done and win the first duel race as he started ninth and was able to get the win. Took a lot of strategy and did go through a fuel cycle pit stops, but it's like with the Fords guys, if you just put them together, they're really good. But if they're all by themselves, like how they were in qualifying yesterday, they're trash. But Keselowski was luckily able to get the win. He had to push his former teammate Ryan Blaney a lot, able to get the win, and was able to hold off Blaney, the two of Austin Cindric, who took his ride, and then somebody else, I forgot. I think it was somebody. Chase Briscoe, that's right. But congrats to Brad Keselowski getting his first win as a owner now for Roush Fenway or RFK Racing. And it's the first time that we've seen the 6-car in victory lane since, 2011? I know it's not a actual race, but still it counts. And so pretty cool for Brad Keselowski, as he will start P3 for the Daytona 500. Finishing second was Austin Cindric. Coincidence? I don't think so. We're in the number 2. But Austin Cindric able to get a nice solid second place finish as he started P11 and was able to get second. He ran a really good race, just stayed with the Fords like most of the others did. So really good effort by Austin Cindric in the 2-car, as for his first Daytona 500, he's going to be starting P5. So that's really good and really impressive for Austin Cindric. Can't wait to see what he does this Sunday. Finishing third was Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney started 7th in the race, able to get third, just like his teammate Austin Cindric. Just stayed with the Fords because we know how strong they are together. Had good pit strategy. They all took 2 tires mostly, and then just able to get out there. Was not able to hold on for the win because Keselowski was just right on his rear. We know how Keselowski is with pushing other drivers. So all in all, really good for Ryan Blaney at the end of the day, as he will start in 7th for the Daytona 500. Finishing in 4th was Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe, another Ford driver who had a really solid day. Started 10th, able to finish 4th, like I said, with the others. Stayed with the Ford pack, took 2 tires as well. Just had a very clean day in the 14 car. A cleaner day than he had in the Busch Clash with the shifting issue. But hey, all in all, he'll start from row 5, starting P9 in his second Daytona 500. Can't wait to see what Briscoe can do in the 14 Ford. And rounding out the top 5 and 5th was Chase Elliott. It was a 1-2-3 Hendrick start at the beginning of Duel 1. Elliott was P3, fell back to P5. Not really that much of a big hole for him because, the Chevys were all linked up together early in the race. And then after the pit cycle, it was Ford that was taking over. Toyota, they were kind of doing something, but it was mostly Ford taking control. Chevy tried to catch back up, weren't able to, but still decent race for Chase Elliott, as he will start P11 for the Daytona 500. Finishing 6th was Eric Jones. Eric Jones also had a really good gain. Started 12th, able to finish 6th place. Stayed with the Chevys, and so he just had a better finish overall in general. He was just able, just to stick with them. And you guys are underestimating Eric Jones. He's really good at the super speedway, so I would not be shocked if he made some noise of trying to get that Daytona 500 trophy. So we'll just have to wait and see. But Eric Jones will roll off P13 from the grid. Finishing in 7th was pole sitter Kyle Larson. Started first, finished 7th in this race. Not really a big deal for Kyle Larson. They've already have the pole sealed up for them, and they're just going to start the Daytona 500 from the front row. So it'll be exciting to see how Larson does, because we know he does not have a great history at super speedways, but it will just be a fun experience to see. But Kyle Larson just mostly just stayed out of the way, wanted to stay out of trouble, but he kept his car up in front just for a little bit to see how it is with the pack, and so that was a good strategy. I think him and Alex Bowman did that in their dual races. So Larson, he has the pole. Let's see what he can do for the Daytona 500. Finishing in 8th was Tyler Reddick. Coincidence? I don't think so, man. This is the second time tonight. Anyway, Reddick, he started 8th and finished 8th, so that's a big coincidence. But overall, good race for Tyler Reddick, just keeping his car clean. And Kyle Larson thinks that he's going to be the first driver to get will be the next driver to get their first career win, and I completely agree with that. I think Tyler Reddick is definitely the #1 driver that I'm looking at to get their first career, will be the first driver to get their first career win this season, if one gets their career. You know what I'm saying. But Reddick mostly kept his car clean, stayed out of trouble, had a solid race, as he'll roll off P15 for the Daytona 500. Finishing in 9th was Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch started 13th, finished 9th. I think it was like, what? He's probably like the only Toyota out here in the first duel. But he had a solid race, just staying out of trouble, staying pretty clean. He was running pretty decent. He was trying to make another row out there when the drivers were starting to run in a choo-choo train, but no, it didn't really work. So it was just an experience, for some of these drivers to see what they can do for the 500 and what they shouldn't do for the 500. But Kurt Busch, solid day. He will start P17 this Sunday. And rounding out the top 10 and 10th was Ross Chastain, who had a really fast car in yesterday's qualifying, just was not able enough to make the Daytona 500 front row. But Trackhouse, guys, watch out for Trackhouse. They have really fast cars. Him and Daniel Suarez made it into the final 10 to see if they could get the pole, but fortunately they couldn't. Chastain started 4th, finished 10th, unfortunately, but Chastain, I bet all he wanted to do was keep his car clean as well. For a very aggressive driver, that was a very smart move, because he knows, I bet him and Suarez knows, and the entire team at Trackhouse knows, they have fast cars. They have the potential to win the Daytona 500 because they have really fast cars. So watch out, guys. These are the underdogs coming into this race. So we'll see what Chastain can do, and his teammate Daniel Suarez, as Chastain will roll off the grid P19 for the 500. And now to rate this dual race. This dual race wasn't as good as I thought as the second dual race, but the dual races, I can kind of understand why it wasn't really the best, because these drivers are just trying to keep their cars clean for the Daytona 500. It's not only just because it's the new next gen car, that's most of it, but still you want to keep your car clean overall, because we've seen this for years and years. But mostly a clean race for them. The only issue that we probably had in the first one was was Denny Hamlin in this race, or was he in the second one? No, Hamlin wasn't in this one, but it was a decent race overall for them. Not really any issues happen and stuff. Kaz Grala did go a lap down after having to pit for speeding penalty, but overall he still was able to make it to the Daytona 500 with the last lap pass on JJ Yeley. A heartbreak for JJ Yeley, but really happy for Kaz Grala and the Money team. Can't wait to see what they can do in the Daytona 500 this Sunday, and that's going to be my rating. So my rating will be I'll give this a 7 out of 10. It was solid. Most drivers kept their cars clean. They weren't really running in a pack and stuff, but there was a bit of slicing and dicing for positions in the last, 3-4 laps and stuff. So I guess that was kind of exciting, but still some potential moves that we'll probably see in this Sunday's 500. And now we're on the duel number 2, which had the most chaotic finish out of both duel races. So let's go ahead and dive on into our top 10 finishers of duel race number 2. Finishing first was Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher able to get the win as he started P14, able to get the win in victory lane after having that little bit of a bad block by Joey Logano, and just the 17 just held his line and was able to get the win over Michael McDowell due to the caution coming out. So really cool for RFK Racing overall, getting the nice clean sweep. I saw them in victory lane with the broom with Jack Roush, Keselowski, and Chris Buescher. So very cool moment for RFK. Definitely, probably not really a historic one, but definitely a good momentum shifter for the team overall going into the Great American Race this Sunday. So really good race by Chris Buescher. He just stayed with the Fords like how most of the Fords were doing. The Fords are really strong when they work together, and Buescher just made the right move, just a bad block by Joey Logano. So that settles that. So Chris Buescher will be starting on row 2 with his teammate Brad Keselowski, who's starting P3, as Buescher will roll off P4. Finishing second is the defending Daytona 500 winner, Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell started 11th, finished second, stayed with the Fords, just trying to keep his car clean, just have a good start for the Daytona 500 as he's trying to keep his crown or go for 2 in a row here in 2022. So really good race overall for him. He almost made contact with Joey Logano, but hey, they said the next gen car has really good brakes, so that's really good to know. So good thing for him to just step on the gas like eep. So really good effort by the 34 of Michael McDowell as he will roll off the grid P6. Finishing in third was Harrison Burton, and just want to point out Harrison Burton had a really good qualifying session. Started 5th in today's duel, finishes 3rd, but still his qualifying session was really good for a young rookie like him, a young rookie talent. There's some really good things to watch out for Harrison Burton this year, because I really thought he wouldn't be anywhere close to that, but he's starting to prove me wrong. But this is a super speedway, so we'll just see how stuff progresses over the rest of the season. But Harrison Burton, just like Austin Cindric, who's a rookie, Cindric is starting 5th in his second Daytona 500, but for Harrison Burton, he's starting in 8th for his first Daytona 500. So we'll see how Harrison Burton will do this Sunday. Finishing in 4th was KFB. Kyle Busch started 9th. Finished 4th, so a really good day overall. Him and the Toyotas came together. Him, Bell, Bubba Wallace, Denny Hamlin, and Mark Truex Jr. all just working together. Hamlin had some issues, what do you call it? Oh my gosh, how did I forget? We're going to skip over that. Basically, Kyle Busch had a decent race, ran it mostly clean. He was trying to hunt down Joey Logano in the Fords, but just didn't have enough time to, and he was kind of falling back off the pace because the Fords were just that fast. It didn't matter how many cars the Toyotas had in their train. Did not matter. But Kyle Busch will start P10 for the Daytona 500. Will he win it? We'll just have to wait and see. And rounding out the top 5 and 5th was Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell also had a really good race. He started 7th, finished 5th. The Toyotas weren't really all that good in qualifying, but it's like if you get them together with each other, they're stronger and stuff. So a really decent effort by Christopher Bell in general as he'll roll off the grid P12 for the Daytona 500. Let's see if we can just not wreck the field this time like he did last year. Finishing in 6th was Mark Truex Jr., who was the fastest Toyota in qualifying yesterday. Started 3rd in the duel, finished 6th. Mostly just staying with his team. That's all he was doing, just trying to protect his car. Because he has like the fastest Toyota out there, in my honest opinion, just by alone speed. So we'll see how MTJ will do. Can he finally get that trophy after he nearly had it, but Hamlin took it away and just a little bit, just close finish. So decent race for Truex as he'll roll off the grid P14. Finishing in 7th was Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace also just trying to follow his affiliated teammates and stuff, since his regular teammate Kurt Busch was in the first duel. Bubba Wallace kept his car mostly clean. He started 8th, finished 7th. Not really big game, but just able enough to get at least a decent starting position for the 500. So he will start P16 in the Daytona 500. Last driver to win on a super speedway in the Gen 6 car. Let's see how he does in the new next gen car. Finishing in 8th was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He started 16th, finished 8th. Just a big move by him. He ran pretty well, trying to keep up with the Chevy teammates, but he he was able to still run with the Toyota pack, so that was pretty good for him because he could have fallen back even more, just like Kevin Harvick did, but luckily he didn't. So a decent starting position for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. trying to win the Daytona 500 because we know he's the most aggressive, one of the most aggressive drivers out here trying to get that trophy. So he will roll off P18 for the 500. And oh man, finishing in 9th was Joey Logano. Joey Logano is very lucky. He's very lucky that a lot of the other drivers were a lap down. But basically for Joey Logano, started 6th in the race, ended up finishing 9th. Basically, Chris Buescher coming down onto the inside, coming into the back straightaway. Logano throws a bad block. Buescher holds his line and Logano turns himself into the wall head on and makes a bit of contact with Harrison Burton that gave him some damage, but Harrison Burton will not go to a backup car. He'll just have to fix the damage. Logano will end up go to a backup car, which he does have at Daytona, so very unfortunate situation for Joey Logano. It was just a bad block, and we do all know things do catch on from what we've learned, because like I said before, guys, about Joey Logano, because he did say if you are scared, you don't have a chance. That just came back to bite him in the butt really bad, because if you are scared, yeah, that he does have a point, but being that risk worthy, taking those risks, it's very high, and it can lead to trouble like this. So Joey Logano just made a mistake, made a bad block, cost his team a bit, because there goes one next-gen car in the toilet. And hey, if you really think about it, Logano was the first driver to win the next-gen car, first one to crash it. No, really, it was Justin Haley, but he got taken out. Logano didn't get taken out. He just threw a bad block. But I'm glad Logano's okay. Car took some damage, but Logano was okay in the car, so that's really good to know. So that was a bit of a test right there to see how it was with drivers inside. So good for Logano that he's okay, but not a good situation for them, because right now it says he'll start P20, but most likely with the backup car, he will have to start at the rear. And rounding out the top 10 and 10th is Kevin Harvick. Started 13th, finished 10th. So a decent race for Harvick overall, as he will start in 22nd, I believe. So that's going to be a decent starting position for him. And he just had a bit of trouble just working with the other Fords. He wasn't very happy. Kind of fell back off the pace. Could have had a better finish, but only got 10th. So not really that good for Kevin Harvick, but we will see what he can do in his 21st Daytona 500 as he tries to chase that second Harley Earl J trophy. Whatever they named the trophy, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. And now to rate duel number 2, as this duel had a better finish overall than the first one. It didn't have a better finish for the cars trying to make their way in. So we'll talk about Greg Biffle making the show with NY Racing, as Timmy Hill was just completely off the pace. He was just not even close. JJ Yaley was probably faster. So yeah, that does suck for Timmy Hill, but Greg Biffle is in the show trying to chase his first Daytona 500. So really cool to see what Greg Biffle can do in the 44 car and stuff. And then also Denny Hamlin, he had some trouble. I think he just overdrove it pretty aggressively, because the brakes can definitely work better on this car, but Hamlin kind of overused it a bit and just went into the grass, spun out. But luckily no caution came out because it happened on pit road. He was able to fix his mistakes. So that's all what happened in duel number 2. So if I had to rate this duel, I'd say this duel, I would give it probably I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was very solid, a very chaotic finish, because I was wondering, since Kyle Busch and his pack wasn't going to catch Logano, I was thinking maybe Buescher, McDowell, Burton make some moves, and I was right. And that's what we saw today. So decent finish out of that one, and that will conclude the field for the Daytona 500, as the race is just this Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is not a noon start, NASCAR, not a noon start. But okay. But that will do it for today's video. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought of the duels at Daytona. I thought it was pretty solid. I'm really excited for the main event, the Daytona 500 this upcoming Sunday. NASCAR is back. Oh man, I think this is my 7th year watching NASCAR full time, so it's very cool to know how I've just become a fan over the years past. So really excited for this one. So for tomorrow, I do know we have qualifying for ARCA, we have the Truck Series race qualifying, then you have Xfinity Series practice, you have Cup Series third practice, and then you have the truck race tomorrow night. Then on Saturday, you have the Cup Series final practice before the big race. Then you have Xfinity Series qualifying, you have the ARCA race, then you have the Xfinity Series race, and then Sunday, you have the Daytona 500, which will be awesome to see. I really hope we don't see a lot of choo-choo training, but really, it's something that we could expect, just like the 2013 Daytona 500, where you have a brand new car, you don't want to wreck it. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens, but that will do it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your night. This is NASCAR Mobile 48. Peace out.